When I was 13, I wanted to have a YouTube channel. And then looking back, like even further back, when I was 8 years old, I wanted to have my own radio or podcast. I used to record little audio tracks with my cousin and sister, and we would like talk about our school and like teachers and classmates and like doing impressions of these people. And I used to kind of like, let's say it was a white lie to my cousin saying like, oh yeah, I contacted someone and they want to broadcast our audios, which was obviously not true, but I was 8 years old. So, and then at 13, I wanted to open a YouTube channel, and I remember recording my first video, which was 5 things I like and 5 things I don't like. And the whole purpose was getting to know more people that will like or dislike stuff that I liked or disliked. I wanted to have a channel in which I could find and connect with people that related to me. And that was the whole point of wanting to work online. I wanted to have a community of people that worked online with me, and that's how it all started for me. I wanted to have a whole team of people that would do the same thing as me, and that was my experience with network marketing. And then when I started network marketing and when I started working online, it all changed. Money was never really something that mattered in what I wanted to do, because I just loved the dopamine rush I would get when someone would say yes to me, and I loved it because I would literally make $50 per month, so I really didn't care about the money. But then at one point, money was all that mattered, and I started doing things I'm not proud of because of money, because I wanted more money, which obviously doesn't include like OnlyFans or anything like that. I was desperate to get more money out of the business, and to be honest, I don't really know why. Like, I don't know where all of that desperation came from. So in this video, I want to talk about the 5 things I would never and will never do again for money. I noticed this trend of the more I cared about the money, the more miserable I was. And I don't want anybody to get into that space, because now that I'm out of it, I literally have zero interest of making money right now. I just want to have money so that I can finance everything I do, but it's not a priority. I am looking at money as a tool to achieve everything I want, but not the tool to achieve everything I want, because I know that the main tool is me. The main tool is my creativity and the stories I will share and how actually authentic I am. That's the only real and main thing I need. So the first thing that I will never do again for money is the first thing that I started doing as soon as I started caring about the money I was making, and that is to work at all times. This is the main thing that happens to people when they start working online, and I see it in people that ask me for help as well, which is that they are so sure that the more they work, the more money they will make. And this is just because we are in a society that literally programs us to be employees and like ties the amount of money that we make to the amount of hours that we work, which is fine. It's not fine though when you want to make money off of your passion, or when you are an employee, so you work a 9 to 5, but you think that that's the only way to make money for you. If you're working a 9 to 5, that's not the only way to make money for you, because you can literally make money out of nowhere. There's people who became rich and they are literally not doing anything to be rich, because money is not related to literally anything you do. It's not about what you do. It's about how smart you're doing it and who you are, like your identity. I started working at all hours of the day and night, and when I think back to it, I'm like, and for what? Literally, what have you achieved with that? Nothing. Like I have not achieved more happiness by doing that. I only achieved burnout and like, being miserable and losing my value and like how much I value my time and so on, which relates to the second point, which is I was working on my period. I will never ever do that again. So once I found out like a year ago that women are on a 4-phase cycle rather than a 24-hour cycle like men, everything changed for me, because I realized we work differently. Like us women, we work differently. and we operate differently. Our energy shifts every single day, basically, and every single week. My energy levels after my period are not the same as like before my period. They are completely different. I'm a completely different person with a different personality. No, but really, I am so different in terms of how I'm feeling, and I'm not feeling that much creative during my period. I just feel like resting. I don't feel like doing anything related to work. I don't feel like doing anything related to social media, and I don't see how taking a 4-day break or like 5-day break hurts my business if I plan everything in advance. And if you're working a 9 to 5, obviously you cannot like take a break every month from your work because you're not like managing that. But what you could do is to take stuff off your plate. So instead of doing the same thing over and over again, take extra care of yourself. Go to bed earlier, or like pamper yourself with like skincare or whatever you like to do. Just do that instead of like burning yourself out every time. So if I have to tell you what my routine looks like now, it's pretty much messed up, but my ideal routine would be that during my during the from the day that my period ends for like the next 10 days, I'm very creative. I'm very open to starting new projects or like thinking and planning and all that. So I do that. Like I see what I could do in the month that's coming. And then during my ovulation, which is basically from day 10 to day 15 of my period, counting from the day my period ends and not the period starts. In my ovulatory phase, I'm very open to speaking to people. So if I have to create content, I do it in that phase. And then in my luteal phase, which is basically 2 weeks before your period starts, I'm literally like so mean and so like very, very withdrawn and like closed. I don't want to have anything to do with people and anybody. But obviously, that's also the same during my period, and I could never take like about like 3 weeks off my work. So what I do is I push every kind of thing in which I have to be on camera. I push it to like the first 2 weeks of my period, and then what I do is during like my period and the weeks before, I edit content or like do some admin work. It's a lot easier to do, and that's pretty much it. But during my period, like when I'm actually bleeding, I don't do anything. I don't want to have anything to do with my computer or my phone. I don't want to hear it. I relax. But if I feel like doing something, I do it. I realized I was trying to do the same thing, like exactly the same thing every week. I was planning weekly instead of like monthly. And like now what I do is I plan monthly and then I adjust. I wouldn't say now because right now I'm going through so much change, and yeah, it's kind of everything is messed up, but this is what I'm getting back to now. And I was trying to do the same thing every single week and I hated it. I was literally burning out all the time. I was literally just, no, I don't want to do this anymore, taking a month break and then coming back and trying to do the same thing and then burning out again, and it was just not productive. The third thing is still related to time, which is I was literally selling out my time. Like I was giving it away to people, giving it away to anybody that would ask me for a favor or ask me to do anything for them, or I was literally working more than I should have. Like if anybody would ask me, hey Sarah, can you please do this for me, I would do that for them. And it was like I was a people pleaser basically, and that relates to the value I was giving myself, because the more I was doing this, the less value I would give myself. The more I would do this, the less value I would give myself, and it was just a cycle, and it was terrible. So because I was valuing my time like zero, I was literally giving my time away to anyone that would ask me for anything. And while I was in network marketing, that was even worse because I had a team of people and I would just do stuff for them. And I thought that because I was busy, I was productive, and because I was productive, which I was not, I was just busy, I was literally thinking, oh, now I'm making so much money, now it's all gonna pay off. But it's not, because that's not how it works. The fourth thing I would never do again for money is crying. I know this is actually like embarrassing, but I would cry because I wanted money so many times. I was like, I just want to make money now. I just want to have money now. And it was like the stupidest thing I could do, because you don't need to like want money. You don't have to want money. Money is not something you want. Money is simply the tool to have what you want. By crying for money, I was just giving away my power and my value again for something that is just a tool. What I really would like you to understand, not because you need to listen to me, but because that's something I just learned. It could not be like it could be something different for you, but money is something neutral. Like, you should feel neutral around money. You should not feel like, yes, I want it so bad, or you should not feel like I don't want it at all. You should not want it. You should just understand that it's like, if I give you a glass of water, how are you gonna feel about it? It's gonna be like, yeah, just give me a glass of water, or like, no, I'm not feeling like having a glass of water. Period. That's how you should feel around money. It shouldn't be like, I just wish I had a glass of water, and you start asking for a glass of water to anybody you see. You're gonna start hating it, and you're gonna start repelling people from around you. So if you have a business that's based on getting clients, that's how it's gonna feel to your clients. It's gonna feel like you see them as money. It's gonna feel like you're desperate to having them because you feel like they are what's gonna give you money. When what's gonna give you money is simply the authenticity. It's simply the personal branding that you have, and like the consistency and strategies that you use, period. And the fifth and final thing that basically wraps it all up is that I was tying my value to money. So I will never again tie my value to how much money I'm making. If I lose money, it doesn't mean that I'm losing value, because what's happening when I lose money is simply that I made the wrong decision, period. So instead of criticizing myself and taking it personal, if money is not working the way I want it to work, I should just be like, okay, it's my strategy that's not working as well. It's my energetics that are not in place, or whatever else, but it has nothing to do with me as a person. Me as a person, I cannot lose value or gain value, because I am valuable myself. It's something inherited. You're not gaining any value. It's the perception that you have of yourself that's changing. So you can notice that all of these things that I was doing were all related to my value and my perception of value that I had of myself. And so this is what I really need to work on, understanding that I am valuable no matter what, and I'm worthy, because all of these years of me working online or working in general, I have destroyed the perception of my value for myself. Like, nobody has done that for me. I have been doing that to myself because of all of these programs that I had because of my family, which is something that I'm going to document and work on YouTube or on my podcast. You can listen to me on both. And creating content online has helped me so much, and it would have never been possible to create such an authentic type of content if it wasn't for my personal brand. So you should really go and check out this video that you're seeing if you're watching the video, or listen to episode 10 that I'll link in the description, which is going to be talking all about what the personal branding is and how to create a strong personal branding and what the first steps should be and what they've been lying to you about.